Hello there, and welcome to the Mindset Alchemy podcast. I'm Janine, your host, and I have a question for you. When you're experiencing something that's less than comfortable, something that is bringing forward memories, places that you might have been uncomfortable in, things that are stretching you, when are you? In that moment, when are you? Are you in the past? Are you in the here and now? Or are you in the future? As you come to understand when you are, you will actually be able to respond rather than react. Something I've come to understand is that when we are responding from the past or when we are responding from the future rather than from right now, we tend to get a less than satisfactory response and outcome. When we are responding from instinct, from the past, and when we are responding from the future, the fear of the outcome, we tend to respond in ways that are less than practical and very often from a lower vibrational on the emotion scale response. And what does this do? It pulls us to pieces. It stretches us in ways that we may be unavailable to go, like trying to bend your leg up rather than backwards. Your knee only goes to a certain point before something goes snap. And that is actually what happens when we are responding from a space and time that is less than helpful to where we are. We look at when we are rather than looking at where we are. And when you can say, okay, what is being asked of me in this moment in time? Where am I to go from this space? What did I ask to grow in? It helps us to have a far more aligned. Now, that word aligned we can also play with. A far more aligned response, a far more in the present response rather than an instinctual one, an intellectual one. We can tap into our intuition and say, what's really happening here? What can I do with what's happening here? And what am I purposely to do with what's happening here rather than responsively, reactively doing here? What if I can responsibly do with it, responding to my abilities at that moment in time, this moment in time, do with it? Janine, that sounds so airy-fairy. What do you mean by that? Well, what I mean by it is I have rushed ahead with things in many times in my life, and the outcomes have been less than happy, if I can put it to you that way. Whereas when I look back and I go, what if I had just paused? What if I could have done this? Yes, what if? I know, I understand about what if. And the bottom line is when I stop, I take a deep breath and I go, what's really going on here? I can feel that deep inner whisper. And I tend to get a far more congruent response. I get a response that's aligned with my vision, with my dreams, rather than rushing in and let me just quickly sort it out. When I rush in and let me quickly sort it out, I cause chaos. I cause a mess to clean up. And you know what is so interesting? I see this in my clients as well. When they respond, boom, rather than going, okay, what if I avoid rushing into this? What if I say to the person, that's a great question. Can you give me a moment to explore it and see what it actually means? What is the truth about it, rather than responding from what could have been a truth in the past, what may have been a truth in the future? And something I've had to learn, I can pause before answering a question. I can also ask, can I get back to you when I have an answer to that? And allow myself to be when rather than rushed. When can I answer that from a better space, a better place, and a more aligned truth that is aligned with myself. You know what? It may be difficult for that other person to wait, and yet it's going to ultimately be far better for both of us when I say to myself, Janine, does this require an answer right now? Or can we make the space and the time to ponder it? Because what happens is we very much allow ourselves to listen to what our intuition is saying. For people who work on a gut response of an or an aha, they are able to respond to that. We allow the emotion, the energy in motion that has been triggered to pass by us so that we can get into the energy of truth, the energy of what would be the responsibility answer, what is the most congruent way of moving forward, and what is the way that resonates within us to answer, that resonates within us from where we work from a place of vision rather than a place of desperation, a place of people pleasing, a place of when we are out of time and space to answer that question. So, when are you? Are you able to answer questions from a space of when than a space of instinct? And are you open to allowing yourself to give yourself the space to let the energy of the past, of anxiety, of frustration, of anger to flow past so that you can respond from a place that is deep inside you, that's intuitively a better answer and is actually practically the best answer rather than rushing in? Let me know in the comments, and if you'd like to know more about this, would you like to chat to me about it? You can get hold of me. The information is in the show notes. I would love to hear what comes forward for you. Remember, this is part of a personal leadership, allowing yourself to see what is the energy coming forward, where is it coming forward for growth, and where are we responding from a place of ego, a place of constriction, rather than a space of intuition and resonance. Have a beautiful and amazing day. Cheerio.